Let's talk about John Bolton briefly. There are multiple new reports out that Donald Trump is keeping a list of people who crossed him during his presidency, who he would like to get locked up eventually. And his own former national security advisor, John Bolton, is reportedly on that list. We heard this from Rick Wilson. We've had Rick on the show, longtime Republican strategist. He's an anti-Trump Republican. He says that Donald Trump is likely to start putting pressure on the Justice Department to try to get revenge on people like Bolton. Bolton, of course, recently saying that in his upcoming book, in the manuscript portion that was released, says that Donald Trump personally told him, withhold the Ukraine aid until Ukraine smears Joe Biden publicly. Of course, the Senate is expected to vote to acquit Donald Trump tomorrow, Wednesday, in the Senate. Rick Wilson says that John Bolton has one choice right now, and that John Bolton must leak the full manuscript of the book today. The reason Wilson says this is that if Bolton doesn't leak the full transcript with additional context and assertions related to what Trump told him about Ukraine, Trump gets acquitted tomorrow and then ruins Bolton's life. Wilson says Bolton's only shot is to try to get the full story out today of what he saw Trump do, get it into the public before the Senate votes to make the vote look like a sham kangaroo court vote, which of course is exactly what that vote will be. Investigative reporter Gabriel Sherman says it's not just Bolton on Trump's enemies list. It's Republicans and Democrats. Adam Schiff is on Trump's list. Jerry Nadler is on Trump's list. Even Republican Senator Mitt Romney from Utah is reportedly on that list. I can imagine this list of enemies written in crayon on a napkin from Kentucky Fried Chicken that Trump was eating on Air Force One, but it doesn't matter because this is a dystopian reality. Sherman reports that he was told Trump wants John Bolton criminally investigated. One possibility would be for the mishandling of classified information that Trump seems to think John Bolton was engaged in, which is truly, even if true, the pot calling the kettle black when you were Donald Trump talking about mishandling sensitive information. There's another report that Trump wants to leak emails showing that Bolton was doing pay to play while on the National Security Council. That's been denied by people close to Bolton. If this happens, the transition to full-blown authoritarian dictatorship will be complete. The attempted jailing of former elected officials and of administration officials on trumped-up charges as directed by the president. Now, this is a good opportunity to clarify something. We need elected officials held more accountable than they are held. I have no problem with elected officials, current and former, being investigated as part of a fair judicial process. We lack that. We have this de facto immunity that so many of our elected officials and our elites have merely because they are in a position of power. But you don't do it by having the president make a list of enemies that he wants revenge on and then forcing the Justice Department to investigate them. This is exactly why, though, I'm saying there have been no consequences for Donald Trump's actions. So why wouldn't he do this? Russia probe, possible cognitive decline, hush money payments, campaign finance violations, hiding his taxes, emoluments violations. And he's fine. He's continuing to be president. He's making the U.S. a laughingstock. Why wouldn't he be emboldened by that and say, hey, let me make a list of enemies and I'll try to get them jailed sometime soon? Because he's gotten away with everything so far. And unless we vote him out on November 3rd, he will likely succeed at triggering at least some investigation of his political enemies. He will get away with all of it. As far as John Bolton, I hope it's clear to him. He has one choice. It's not even really a choice when there's only one. He has to spill the beans, period. As far as Lev Parnas, I hope he publishes everything he has, including every video he has access to. But in the meantime, this authoritarian nightmare has to be stopped one way or the other. And there's really no the other right now. The one way is vote him out overwhelmingly on November 3rd because nothing else is having any effect. Let me know what you think. I'm on Twitter at @Pakman. Make sure you're following me there.